The biggest question surrounding Ubisoft's first DLC pack is not only whether they could pull off a Vietnam recreation, but rather should they try and tackle it in the first place. I'm happy to say they did a fantastic job handling the subject matter. Hours of Darkness starts players off escaping a prison when they watch as one of their fellow soldiers is executed right in front of them as they refuse to give a Vietnamese officer any intel. This does a nice job setting the tone for the rest of the 3 to 4 hour campaign. After escaping the prison, you must quickly hightail it back to your crashed helicopter to try and scavenge any gear that may have been left behind. Once the players reach their wreckage, they are given a quick tutorial on how the perk system works. Players are rewarded for taking out enemies while using stealth. The longer you remain undetected, the more perks you receive. Perks range from faster movement speeds while crouched to the ability to tag enemies through walls, just to name a couple. Once you reach the first village, you are prompted to free a hostage named Joker. Once freed, Joker will help you in your fight. I found the banter from Joker to be far better than the characters from Far Cry 5 itself. It really helped achieve the campy vibe that the game was going for. Now with Ally in tow, the two of you set out to uncover hidden enemy villages, avoid enemy vehicle patrols, and freeing more POWs along the way. A second ally slot opens up, allowing a squad of 3 to trek through the open rice fields and thick vegetation. Freeing POWs or killing enemy commanders rewards the squad with intel of more enemy hideouts as well as anti-aircraft locations. Taking out the AA guns allows you to call in air support in that area. Players must pull up their binoculars, tag the enemies, and let the pilots do the rest. There's nothing more rewarding than when you're surrounded by the enemies, you highlight them and just watch the aircraft just blow them up right in front of you. It really gave you a sense of exhilaration. As Joker, Moses, and myself kept moving through the countryside, I found myself smiling and being surprised at just how much I was enjoying myself. I didn't expect to like the DLC as much as I was. I figured it was just going to be a reskinning of Far Cry 5 and feel kind of samey. I couldn't have been further from the truth. Ubisoft uses lighting in a very dramatic way. Smoke fills the villages, beautiful pinks and purples fill the skies at dawn. Glimpses of blue skies emerge at just the right time when I had just suffered a grueling gunfight and I was collecting myself. I feel like there was never a moment when the immersion was blown. I was in this game the whole time and I really felt like I was there. The vegetation, the animals along the hillside, the scattered enemies like hiding in the trees. It all just lended itself very well to keep me immersed in the game the entire time. So in closing, guys, I think this first DLC drop for Far Cry 5, I think it's terrific. I think that it's a major deviation from what Far Cry 5 felt like. I really enjoyed the overall aesthetic and look that they gave to Hours of Darkness. I feel like the vegetation was super believable. Some moments you'd be like in really thick vegetation and enemies would come at you when you would least expect it. You'd be getting bombarded from all sides, much like stories that you would hear coming back from Vietnam. I feel like, you know, just the controls and the perk system, it all just felt so good, like, you know, hiding in the cover of the thick vegetation and sneaking up on enemies, using bow and arrows, you know, just trying to see how long you could hold out before you would give your cover, and then how things would get real frantic once you did blow your cover, throwing remote explosives at trucks as they would roll up with a mounted 50 cal, having helicopters chase you down, gunning you down, and you giving it right back to the pilots. Like, it all felt really good. It really made me feel like I was in like an 80s, you know, action movie that would take place in Vietnam. I loved the campiness. I loved the back and forth banter between myself, Joker and Moses, and I'm sure if you have multiple playthroughs, you'll probably get different allies. Those are just the murders for hire that I was rolling with. Joker was probably my favorite thing about this DLC. I loved the voice acting from the character. I loved his little one-liners that he had. It was super cool. If this is, how we're going to be getting these DLC releases, then I'm all about it. This first one was outstanding, and it has me super pumped for the future releases. The next two is going to be, one's going to take place on Mars, where you take out arachnids, which sounds okay. I'm not really big into the space setting, but I still think that it looks really cool. And what has me really, really hyped is the zombie DLC that's coming, and I hope that it's just as good as this, because this was outstanding. And yeah, if I had to put a number on it, guys, it'd be somewhere in like the 85 to 90 percentile range, somewhere in there, out of 100, of course. The only really negatives that I would have, let me try and think if there were any. I don't think there were, for the most part. I think this content blew me away. I never expected it to be this good. It has no right to be this good, and I actually enjoyed this 3 to 4 hour playthrough of Hours of Darkness more than I did Far Cry 5 itself. I feel like Far Cry had a lot of flaws, especially in the murders for hire, like repeating their lines over and over and over. You don't get that in this DLC, and it's probably because it was only 3 to 4 hours long, but still. And my highlight is definitely the way they use the lighting in the game. I feel like when it had those pinks and purples, and it was going from nightfall and then the sun would come out, it really helped make me feel like I was in Vietnam. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I really enjoyed doing it. This whole ending bit, this conclusion, I'm just kind of spitballing. The rest of it was scripted, so hopefully you enjoyed it. But yeah, thanks for watching my review, guys. I hope to do more in the future. I'll definitely be doing reviews for the other 2 content drops, so keep your eyes on that. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Later. No more airstrike. Alright, it's go time, boys. Shit, I'm almost out of ammo. Damn it. I mean, a shotgun. I'll take it. Why the hell not? What up, Christian? Fuck. Shit. Yo, get me up. Get me up. Yes, sir. Good stuff, Moses. Nighty night. Yes, sir.
Thanks. Look at this.
Python 2-5, Allied troop located and released.
Python 2-5, all done. Fighters are standing by.
Feeling the pressure. Yeah, buddy.
Python 2-5, a hostile camp was neutralized.